right, SML, it's time for episode 3 of Conspiracy Theories. There's been a lot of talk in chat about Dan and mostly Paulie tanking, and we decided to dig into it. And I even had to bring Prime on because this one it was a lot of stuff to look into. Prime, you ready to go over this stuff?
Yeah, I just want to bring the truth and the facts, and hopefully our viewers can decide what they believe after we're done with this show.
Yeah, none of this is going to be opinion. This is all facts that we've uncovered. So everybody was free to make up their own mind on what they think is going on. But should we start with Dan first?
Yeah, let's start with Dan, shall we?
All right.
Eh, I guess maybe I'll go first. And
Okay.
here's the thing about Dan. He started off this season very hot, 10-0 maybe. He was really dominating the competition. And then he lost to the Saints. And at that point, after losing to the Saints, that's when it went into Dan's head that, hey, if I'm not going to get the number one seed, the number five seed looks better to me, right? You're playing the AFC South. They already have 9, 10 losses. So common sense person would say, hey, path of least resistance. If you're not one, you want to go to five. Unfortunately for Dan, he had a few game lead on me, and he needed multiple losses. So that is when he started to play the Raiders. And in that game, he refused to pull his rookie quarterback for Jared Goff in a huge divisional game. Jared Goff, no throws at all, called multiple man zero defenses, and actually let Henry Ruggs go off on that team. And guess what? And I think we actually have the tape on, or a screenshot of this on Twitter. Dan slipped up and he said, "Hey, I was playing for stats. I wasn't even playing for wins. I'm just playing for stats." So what that tells me is a guy competing for a division just playing for stats.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Bomber?
So some things that I noticed, and like I said, only facts. The losing didn't start until he lost control of the number one seed. So until the number one seed was out of play or not in his control, suddenly, well, now I can't figure out how to play. The other thing is, if you look at his gameplay, it's gone a lot more pass heavy, and that's what got him in trouble at first, was throwing the ball a lot. Then he turned to Eckler, and that got him out of that rut last season. Now he seems to go back to the passing game. And one more thing, and you brought it up, how he refused to go to Goff. Who was the quarterback when he played you?
It was Goff, I believe.
Yeah, he went to Goff because he said he didn't trust the rookie. Now suddenly he's gone back to the rookie in games that should have been important to know, keep the division lead if you were trying to win. Just seems a little suspect there, Dan. All right, so that's what we've got from Dan.
Hmm.
All right, so next up we've got Paulie, and we did a lot of digging into Paulie, and some really interesting things kind of came up. Now, one of the things he said in chat, and this kind of got things started, or maybe kind of solidified things for the way I feel. Smitty got called not a strategically genius, and then Smitty, of course, fires back with, "What's your record?" And what does Paulie say? "You have no clue what is going on, youngster." Everybody knows Paulie's got stuff going on with football or whatever outside of
Mhm.
the SML. So what could he be referring to when he says, "You have no clue what is going on, youngster"? I think.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
well, it's really odd for Paulie to make those comments. Seeing how we all know Tom Brady is Paulie's favorite player. He's in love with Tom Brady. He's still an elite quarterback in Madden right
Yep.
now. And all of a sudden, Coach Paulie loses a game or two, and then he's like, "Uh-oh, slow aging quarterback. Let me bench this guy for a guy who I can't even develop in games that I could possibly win." It's almost as if Paulie is resting his superstar quarterback for no good reason. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense competitively.
Yeah, and I mean we know that this is a season where Brady's going to retire or have major regression. He already regressed at the end of last season. He's down to 89 throw power. This is the season that's really going to hurt him. And surprisingly, Paulie's having a 3-10 season right now, or 3-11, I think now. He just lost to
Mm.
Woods. Paulie's a 700 win percentage owner, just about in the SML. Now
Wow.
that's what, over a cycle and a half, something like that, maybe close to two
Yeah.
cycles. Now he said, well, last year I had COVID stuff, and that's why, I was doing better than I could have been expected to do.
Hmm.
And that could almost be believable if I didn't go and find Paulie's all-time coaching records in the MOF, where he
Oh!
played 44 seasons. You know what season we're on right now in the SML, Prime?
No, 44.
43.
Oh, jeez.
Paulie played more seasons in the MOF than SML has even been around for. So if you think back to when you first created SML, Paulie was already like one or two deep into MOF. And then he played that entire time. 44 seasons. You know what his win-loss record was? 480 wins, 223 losses, a 683 win percentage. So that 700 or close to it that he's got last cycle,
Mhm.
that's not some crazy out of the ordinary stat. That's what Paulie is. If we were just going off one cycle, sure, that could be some type of anomaly
No.
that's just an outlier. But we're talking about almost 700 win percentage over 1,000 games. If you add up his SML games and his MOF games, that's over 1,000 games. That's more than enough a sample size for me to be convinced that he is a 700 win percentage player. So we found this MOF website. We found a little write up about Paulie and his Jets. He had the Jets 15-1 one season, 14-2 the next season, 5 combined losses over 2 seasons, including the playoffs. All they did was write nothing but how good Paulie is. So what did we do? We dug a little bit deeper, and we went and contacted some MOF members.
No.
Oh, and what did those MOF members say?
I don't know, Bomber. I don't know.
He has never had a season like this. So we're looking at over 1,000 games, never had a season like this. Almost what? That's putting us close to 60 seasons. Never had a season like this. Said a down season for Paulie was falling just short of the playoffs. If I go back to the MOF all-time record, you can see he made the playoffs 33 times out of 44 seasons. Definitely not a guy that's ending up 3-10 or 3-12, 13, 14, whatever his final is going to be this year. That's just not Paulie. Let's not forget he had a pick against Two Step. Could have put the game away. What happens immediately following the pick? He pitches it, gives it right back to Two Step. Two Step wins the game. It's just between the sources. I mean, you can see the numbers for yourself. We're talking 1,000 games, and he's not like last or like the football season is messing with his game. He was 13-4 last season. Ran away with the AFC South. It's not like he was, a barely playoff team. This 13-4 Super Bowl contender. Started 3-3 this year. Somehow now he's lost 7 in a row. Lost to teams he's never lost to. Ask Noel. Noel, I could go back and pull up stuff where Paulie said that he beat Noel every single time. Well, not this time. But that's probably because I don't think he was trying. So what do you think
Wow.
about Paulie?
I think that Paulie, you know what? I don't think he's trying either. And I think the stats speak for themselves. I think the numbers speak for themselves. And I think that he even spoke for himself. I mean, he even said, "You don't know what's going on, youngster," to young Dunk Face, who honestly was probably flabbergasted. Dunk Face probably doesn't know a whole lot about anything. But I think that Coach Paulie is at a crossroads in his Madden career right now. And for him to bench Tom Brady, for him to have his worst season in his SML career, playing in the worst conference in the SML by far, for him to lateral the ball, to me, his competitive spirit from the outside point of view is right on par with Dan's, honestly. And it might be a conspiracy, but maybe there's a little bit of truth to it.
Yeah, definitely the facts I think support it. But all we're here to do is provide the facts, and
Yep.
everybody else can decide what they think. But
Yeah.
we'll probably have to relook into this maybe at the end of the season, maybe next season when Paulie's in the NFC Championship with his rookie quarterback that he got, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, if I'm Fins, because Fins is the worst loser, I am not trading that pick to Paulie to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, yep. And like I told Finn that 2 firsts and a star player. I want maximum return for that pick, knowing that the quarterback won the Heisman. So we'll see if this tanking pays off for either one of them, if that's what they're doing. But this has been episode 3, Conspiracy Theories. You guys decide.